Good morning. How's it going?
It's going good. Long time.
Yeah, I liked our accidental call a few minutes ago, but that was
Yes.
great just to be able to smile and chat a few minutes before having this more formal experience together. So
Yes. Oh,
thank you for
formal.
making
This is this is this is
our
far
formal informal
this is as
experience.
far from formal as it's gonna be.
But I think this is so awesome, Martin. Like it's it's an opportunity for people to create their own path. Like we have more access now because of social media
Yes.
to to create our own paths and not have to have permission from a bigger body, in
Yes.
order to speak and to be heard. So I think it's
Yes.
awesome that you are doing these core conversations.
Thank
It
you.
allows people to see that there are men in Pilates, there are Black people in Pilates, there are other voices that maybe you haven't heard, new faces, new to you faces that have been doing it for a long time. So
Yes.
I love that you do this. So thank you for asking, John.
Well, thank you. It feels good to hear that because like you just do it out of your own passion and you hope that it's connecting, right? So and people keep saying yes when I ask them, so we're rolling. you
But
know?
it's so cool. I actually unrelated but related. I just got this mirror thing,
Yes.
where you can log in, and so I did this meditation yesterday, and it was short, but something that you just said. It's like we don't often get that feedback and that reinforcement that what you're doing matters,
Yes.
right? And that you're making a difference in someone's life.
Yes.
And while listening to this meditation, you're staring in the mirror, so you're looking at someone, but you're looking at yourself, and then
Yes.
she's saying I love you, and then you repeat it back. And so I'm looking at myself, I love you, you are important, you are
Mhm.
impactful, you have meaning, you're not a mistake. And it's like saying those affirmations to myself. It's like, oh, I do have purpose, I do matter, because
Right.
in 2020 I feel like a lot of us are like, do we exist, do I matter, does anyone see me? And so reminding myself
Mhm.
first, but then it
Yes.
also reminded me like, oh, I need to make sure that I tell people that they matter too. So your voice
Yes.
does matter, people watch your videos, like you're making an impact. So thank you for what you do, it matters. And you are loved, and I hope that you feel that. It's
Yes.
exciting to see that we can really change the world. So
Thank you.
anyway.
Yes. So we can just shut it down right there. Thanks for joining me today. And there's a saying, never underestimate the significance of the insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
And I really strongly believe that because like you say that, you could just rattle off those words to me and I could have had the worst day and that has such a massive impact. That just touched me where I need to hear it. And
Yeah.
it cost you nothing to do that.
And it takes a minute, but like, and it's just like, oh, okay, maybe you wanted to buy something and you didn't have quite enough, and then you can feel like a failure in that moment, just because you want to get something and you can't get it. But then just
Yes.
reminding, like, that one of the things that the mirror slash myself told myself yesterday was
Yes.
just that you're not an accident, and you're exactly where you need to be right now
Yes.
to
Yes.
live today's purpose. And I was like, oh, that wasn't a part of today's purpose. And then it just rolls off, and you just can keep
Hmm.
moving
Yeah.
because the constant reminder that you're not an accident. And
Yeah.
so that's like my really exciting reminder slash revelation from
Mm.
yesterday. And
Yes.
I'm hoping to take that energy into 2021, because this year has felt very accidental.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to be reminded that no, no, it's we have been presented some challenges so that we can create our personal new normals in this life.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and as you're saying there, like, about bringing it into 2021, that's, when I was talking with Tasha about that earlier this week, we can talk about bringing things into 2021, but we really just need to bring it into today, and then bring it into tomorrow, and then bring it into next week, and then bring it
yes,
into, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about like, I mean, obviously 2021 is like Friday, but we always think about bringing things into this way off distance. In reality, is we just need to be faithful with these things today. We need to be faithful, good stewards of this message today, and then rinse and repeat tomorrow.
Yes. Exactly. It's so simple but so hard, right?
So
And so
simple, but
profound.
so hard. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's wanting that I want to have $1 million, or I want to have a booming studio, or I want to have whatever that thing is. Like,
Mhm.
yes, but it doesn't just operate, right? Like there's
Yes.
a decision that I can make today to bring me a little bit closer to that thing that I want.
Yes.
And it could be as simple as make the coffee at home instead of going out and buying it. You know, like it can be as simple as like
Oh,
that.
we're going there. Yes.
Choices over and over again. We own our own businesses now. You know, like you're able to, people maybe who felt like they'll never be able to start their own studio, or I'll never be able to have this thing. Like, welcome to 2020. Like, do you have a smartphone?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you own a business. Like, you own a studio. Like, but seriously, look
Yes.
at, look at what you did.
Yes.
Look at how you overcame. Look at how you had your arc from, you know, this place to this place. Like, there's a lot of really beautiful things. I was listening to something that you and Tracy were talking about just the other day, and it's just like, oh yeah, there have been really beautiful little nuggets in 2022, and it's so
Yes.
easy to overlook them
So
completely
easy.
because overall the year's been pretty rough.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Right. Yeah.
very, very rough, and people have genuinely been affected.
Hmm.
And if we only focus on those things, it like changes your cellular DNA, it feels. And my teaching's not great, you know, like just
Hmm.
taking it to something basic, like the thing that I do to feed myself and my family. Like if I'm super depressed and
Hmm.
only focused on all those negative things that are real, and
Yes.
only focused on them, and I don't
Right.
tell myself, like, you're doing a good job.
Hmm.
Congratulations on overcoming that obstacle.
Yes.
Tomorrow is a new day. If I don't do that, I am just going to, and then
Y-
everything will follow.
Yeah,
My
for
clientele
sure.
will, they won't feel inspired.
Hmm.
They're also feeling depressed because they're also home too. Like, you know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
we actually have an opportunity as Pilates instructors to, I feel like in a more tangible way, do what Joseph Pilates talked about, you know, in Return to Life. It's like we can actually help to return people to life by teaching them these skills when they're
Yes.
in isolation, when
Right.
they're maybe depressed, when they're by
Hmm.
themselves. Like we actually genuinely help change people's lives by doing what we do,
Absolutely. Yeah.
by giving them a face to speak to and smile at, but then also like we're helping them to feel better in their bodies. Like,
Hmm.
how cool is that? Like, what's the coolest job ever, right?
Right. It is. It is.
You
It
help
is
people
an
feel
honor. It's a massive, massive responsibility when you frame it like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we really do in many ways dictate how the rest of someone's day goes, how the rest of someone's week goes, how the rest of we can allow them to stay stuck or we can give them a new perspective. And
totally.
we can make them feel good in their body physically, and then we can awaken a different part of their mind and open their eyes in a different way. That's a massive privilege that we have that
It's
people
a
give
huge
us.
privilege and responsibility. And they not only do they trust us to do it, but they keep coming back, and then they give you money for that.
For that.
How cool is that? You
Yes.
know, you're
Yeah.
paying me to make you smile and
Mm-hmm.
to make your body feel healthier and stronger.
Right.
Best job ever.
Thank
And
you.
so, yeah, it's the coolest job ever. And so, and in that, we're able to do that without tons of money. You don't have to have equipment. You don't
Mhm.
have, you can teach mat and teach breathing and very much be teaching Pilates and very
Yes.
much be changing people's lives without
Yes.
ever putting your hands on them. And so I do also like that it's an equalizer in that way.
Absolutely.
You have to have that, some education to do that, but
Mhm.
then just passion
Yes.
and,
Yep.
and go.
Right.
And
Yep.
you know, I feel like that's something that we all are actually in charge of. We're in charge of our passion and of cultivating our, you know, we don't even have to always pay for all the education now. We can look at it as somebody inspiring on YouTube, or
Yes.
follow somebody on Instagram,
Mhm.
and be picking up jewels that we can then pass on to other people, so we can kind of
Yes. Yeah.
spread that love.
And I think that, and what you're saying there too, you said it in such a good way, and I was trying to say that on Tuesday, like about the fact that we have this mat work, we have this breathing, no equipment necessary, and we can really affect change.
Absolutely.
And I was trying to find the words to say that we don't have to rely on props. We don't have to rely on equipment. We don't have to wait till we have a space. We don't have to wait until we have those things become excuses. They're like the stuff you see behind me, they aid in someone's
Mm-hmm.
movement, but I don't need those to be able to pass go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, and also a lot of our clientele, because of access, or finances, or whatever reason, can't come to our spaces.
Yes.
So what do they have at home? Everyone has a floor at home,
Thank you.
and some of them have some carpet on them. And if
Yes.
you don't have a mat, you have two bath towels that you can
Yes.
put on the floor. And if you don't have hand weights, you got two cans
Hmm.
of soup, or you
Yes.
got two water bottles. And it's like it's all you need to experience the way that Mr. Pilates taught at Jacob's Pillow.
Hmm.
Like, get on the
Hmm.
mat, hop 2, 3, 4, hop two,
Yeah.
a couple jumping jacks, get on the floor
Right.
and do some mat work, and feel your body warming. And I've have some new clients that I've never actually met in person. I've never seen
Yes.
these people. And if I
Yes.
saw them walking around outside, I probably wouldn't recognize them because they're wearing a mask. Like, I know what their faces look like
Right.
because I'm teaching them this way.
That's a
But if
great
I
point.
saw them out, I don't actually know that I would recognize someone, my new client. But it's like they have I have, this one person in particular I'm thinking of. His wife took a couple lessons with me. Pandemic started. I trained her maybe 4 times, and then pandemic started. She shifted to virtual, but then she mentioned it to her husband, and he had a knee surgery last summer, and he's like, well, I'll give it a try. He booked 2 sessions during the week,
Hmm.
and I've trained him twice a week since March. I've never met him in person.
Yes.
I, he started from he was bent over, couldn't bend his knee, but he was there. And that's
Yes.
all that I need, right? All
Yeah.
I need is you showing up on the screen
Right.
and just being passionate. And I actually had to remind him, because it's so easy when we're not in pain anymore, we don't think about the pain we were in.
Yes.
And when
Yeah.
we're not financially struggling in the moment, we don't think about, man, that thing I had to overcome. Like, it's so
Hmm.
easy to
Hmm.
forget.
Yes.
And so I take screenshots because I teach from my phone generally. So I'll take screenshots. And like, my Christmas gift to my clients was sending them photos of themselves.
Wow.
Like, Merry
Amazing.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look
Yes.
at what you did this year. And I
Yes.
took a screenshot of their first session, and then a screenshot of their most recent one, so they can see their own bodies, what I see. And it's like, I see the changes that you're
Yes.
achieving. I see what you're accomplishing and what you're overcoming, because it's my job.
Hmm.
But also, I'm not in your body, so I can see you.
Right.
I can see what's there. And you see, I ate that extra roll yesterday. I feel this, and
Hmm.
that's how I can feel about myself. It's like, oh, and I'm so focused on all these little things. But
Yes.
it's like, do you recognize that you're standing up and you're not in a wheelchair? Remember the
Hmm.
first session you were in your wheelchair? It's like, oh, I'll stop complaining about, like, my
Yes.
acne.
Right.
I'm grateful for the fact that I can stand.
Yeah, for
It's
sure. I mean,
so
and Chris is
it's
saying that too, right? Like, celebrating. We are in the business of celebrating progress.
yeah,
And whether it's a physical progress like this, or you want to take it to racial relations, and all these different things are happening in our Pilates industry, and like whatever it is, if we can be in a place of saying, look where we were and look where we are now, that should
yes,
be enough hope to get us to where we need to get next.
that's a really good point, Martin. And they're in politics, life, systems, right? Like, because systems involve people,
Yes.
they're flawed.
Right.
because
Potential,
none of the,
right?
yes, and that doesn't mean that we don't care about these systems. We care about the systems because people are in them and we are people. We are able to influence the systems when we meet collectively and we are part of the change.
Yes.
And there's still an opportunity to celebrate the victories as they come. They're not mutually exclusive.
Hmm.
We can celebrate the fact that you went from being in a wheelchair to standing. Your goal can still be running. Be happy that you're standing. Let's keep working on running, though. You know,
Yes.
I'm glad that there are Black and brown and queer people on this board. That's awesome. That's
Hmm.
better than there not being any Black,
Yes.
brown, queer, female, etc. people on this board.
Yes.
And just
And
placing people in a position doesn't absolve change systematically that needs to happen. Like I can shift somebody else into my studio. That doesn't mean that
mhm,
anything's changing
no.
unless that unless I change something, you
Right,
know.
right,
So
right.
it's, you're
But
just doing lateral shifts.
right, so but as leaders,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that that is our job to keep pointing people to where they are. Because I mean, I can stand over at the finish line and say, we're not running yet. Why aren't we running yet? That's not good enough that you're standing from your wheelchair. You're not running yet. That's not good enough. Or
Mm-hmm.
I can sit on the other side and you say, well, you should be happy that I'm standing. How dare you expect me to run? I was just in a wheelchair a minute ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we could be at either end. So I think that this is where we need to be, is in this place where we can say to those way over there, hold on, we've come, and we're still moving. And to those over there, it's like, don't just settle, don't just celebrate the fact that you're standing, because we still have places to go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like having functioning legs isn't the whole goal if you don't use the legs as they can function. So
As
it's
they can
like, you know,
function.
I
Yeah.
want let's take this thing that you have and let's keep it moving, literally. Like let's
Yes.
keep it moving
Yeah.
so that it's not only becomes stronger in and of itself, but that it can also now be a vehicle for more change, right?
Yes.
Like, so
Yeah.
me raising my children isn't just the means to its own end. Like, oh, good, like I birthed humans and now they're alive. Like that's great, but
Yes.
the goal is to fill them up with love and hope
Hmm.
and potential and ask them like, what do you want to do? Who do you
Hmm.
want to be? What are your goals?
Yes.
And then help them to do that so that then they can help other people to do that too. Like
Yes.
it's not just about me.
Right.
So I'm super excited just for the opportunity to have a platform to talk about this with you, right? It's like a lot of people, what I think that what happens in a lot of media is
Hmm.
that we think that we don't have voices at the same time. Like it goes back and forth. I have no
Yes.
voice. My voice is the only one that matters. I have no voice. My voice is the
Hmm.
only one. It's like there's this thing, and it's
It's
like,
not an
well,
either
no.
or. Yeah.
Well, then there's also if you don't actually have these conversations with people, you can feel like you're the only person that thinks or feels a certain way when
Hmm.
it's absolutely not true. Like there are lots of people who want to
Yes.
create change. There are lots of people who want
Hmm.
to promote diversity. There are lots. So being able to have these conversations and then have people to watch and to
Yes.
comment and take
Yes.
things in
Yeah.
on the conversations in and of itself is a reinforcing that, hey, you're not by yourself in
Yes.
your goals and hopes and dreams.
Right.
Like,
So real talk here. Not that we haven't, or having church, as Jess said a minute ago, as Janae said, but I think that when you say it like that, that we can all have these conversations. We can all be. It doesn't have to be an either or my voice is the only one that's being heard right now, so yours can't be heard. It's almost like a marital relationship when you're in a conflict, and you have to step away from the conflict for a second to say, hold on, we are on the same team here. We are fighting for the same thing. It's not me versus you right now. It's us versus this.
yes, 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 yes. And my relationship with my partner, with Crystal, is every day I am like encouraged by and reminded of what you just said. It's like this is something that I want, and this is something that you want. So let's
Mhm.
just remember that and start there.
Let's
For
start
me, right?
there. Yeah.
Really remember that, start there, so that when you're upset, when you have a moment, when you have a struggle, because 'cause you're not alone. 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 you're alive, right? So you're gonna stub your toe,
Hmm.
like someone's glass is, whatever. Like life happens every day. Remembering that this this team is the reason why you continue to do anything that you're
Yes.
doing. It's
Yes.
because you care about this team, and
Yes.
so yeah, it's so true. And does that mean that every single day is going to be easy, or that every single moment, like your body doesn't feel great every single day?
Hmm.
But do you do something to create a positive condition for your body
Right.
every day or most days? That's the point.
Even if it is uncomfortable in the moment to get to that place.
Hmm. That's so true. I think that comfort can be a like a silent killer sometimes too, right? Like
Yep.
the not wanting to. I don't like transition. I don't like change. It's funny because like, I'm a dancer and I'm a Pilates instructor. I don't like transitions. So
That's an
that means
oxymoron. Okay, but
it's
yeah.
funny, but I like structure, which
Mhm.
also makes sense why I'm a dancer
Right.
and a Pilates instructor.
Right.
I love structure, and I love knowing that if I put this thing right here and then this thing right here, it fits great. Now we're gonna keep it there on that shelf for all of eternity. Like that's how, how I it's like this is right. But
Yes.
it's like, but this no, just because this works at the moment today doesn't mean that it's right or better
Hmm.
or best. It just works today. Tomorrow there may be a better way to fit those two things together
Right.
to move in a better direction. And
Hmm.
so I think that a lot of challenges in relationships,
Hmm.
in dynamics between people
Yes.
is that when we do this, it's like, oh, it fits. And then you don't want them to change and you don't want to change your, but like you're changing every
Hmm.
day, but
Right.
you want them to do the same.
How dare you change while I'm changing? Yes.
How can I ask you to not change if I'm sitting here evolving and trying to progress every day? Like you
Yes.
have your own mind and body and heart, and you're allowed to change
Yeah.
too. And
Right.
so giving people enough permission to exist, I think is really important.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not too much to ask.
But it's so much to ask.
It is.
It's just humility, right?
Yeah.
Constant humility and going, this is how I feel.
Hmm.
I feel this way right now.
Right.
But just because I feel this way doesn't mean that it's absolutely the only way that something can be done
Hmm.
or that it's right. It's like when you have another teacher come in and train one of your clients,
Yes.
and it's like they do an exercise with them that you would have never done with them because,
Hmm.
oh no, this person is like this and
And
their
I
body doesn't
know their
do this.
body. Right. Yes.
And I'm the expert on, and so, and then they're like, oh, I did this thing. You're like, they did short spine with you, and you want to, but it's like, oh, and my back feels great, and that thing I've been complaining about for the last 2 years, it doesn't hurt anymore. It's like,
Hmm.
oh,
Oh.
so you mean that my way isn't always the best?
Hmm.
Understood.
Yes. I
But
was like,
those reminders, it's and I think that that's part of what makes life more exciting.
yes.
You can be Italian, born in Italy, and love Italian food, but yeah, try Mexican food too. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Try something different. So
Yes.
as much as we love structure and same, I'm learning to embrace like it's okay when things are different and variance. And
Yes.
so in obtaining my secondary education, because I was originally trained contemporary Pilates, and I didn't know that. It was just
You
that was a
just
school that I went there, right? So
right. Yes.
I got my original training, and then create a change in people's bodies. I made a difference
Hmm.
to their world,
Yep.
to their family. Like I achieved those things as a contemporary Pilates instructor,
Right.
and then I saw someone on this piece of on this reformer that looked funny because there weren't ropes and there was leather. I was like, what's happening over here? And then I
Yeah.
took a class. It was like, why is it so hard? I thought that I knew
I
it.
thought it was
And so
good.
I
Yes.
thought I was good. I thought I knew this.
Yes.
As a mentor, especially, like that's part of the ego of the art, right? Like you're
Yes.
constantly striving for this perfection. And so allowing myself to not know something that I knew,
Yes.
but you don't know it, but you know it, but you don't know it. And then
Yes.
going through this whole journey again, it was like a new relationship. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, I wasn't having issues or problems in my relationship, and there was still a way for me to grow in
Yes.
my knowledge of this
Right.
entity
Yep.
and I'm trying to become close to. I'm going to
Enhancements.
go a little deeper so that I know more about it. So I still have moments, although I love having a predominantly classical space, I love my ground's equipment.
Hmm.
And I also teach contemporary movement when it's needed, and it's often needed.
Yes.
Um, but it's better to move something well than to not move anything at all. And I think that we can
Yes.
waste a lot of time arguing over right and wrong and forget that there's a person in front of us who just wants to feel better so that they can like
That
be a part of the family
is
in an
so
active way.
true. Well, Michael King said that, or we were talking about what's the most important thing, or what's the main thing, or all these different things, and he was saying the most important thing is not the exercise, not classical, not contemporary, but the person in front of you. What is your exercise library? What are the tools in your toolbox? And which one do we need to help this person right now? That is the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I've had, I've had as a predominantly classical instructor, I've taught in super contemporary environments, and I've had people come into those environments and have said that they've taken class at X, Y, and Z studio, which has great equipment, has all these things, but the people didn't make them feel warm in the space or happy or
Yes.
whole or
Right.
important and
Mm-hmm.
supported.
Mm-hmm.
And they left and they went to what a lot of more classical instructors would be like, that's not even really Pilates, but like they go in and they're greeted and they feel warm and they feel happy. And it's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
the day, especially 2020, I feel like what it should have taught us is at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like, do you feel good
Yes.
about it?
About it.
And if
Right.
you don't feel good about it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to change.
For sure. And you hear the conversation. I mean, if you watch any of these core conversations, I'll have a contemporary person say that, this person went to classical, they came to contemporary and it changed their life. And then a classical person comes on and say this person went to contemporary and they came to classical and it changed their life. But it goes both ways, and it's movement and it's feeling and it's joy and it's good teaching, it's acumen with your business, it's all those things that come into play that actually makes for a good experience for our people. And going back to what Kai said on Tuesday, who is your Joseph? Like when you find your client, when you find your teacher, or student, when you find your teacher, that's the connection, that's the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where movement happens, and that's where we start to change lives.
Yeah. And I loved this past 2 weeks with the holidays season
Mm-hmm.
with Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all that's happening right now. A lot of people are sharing those I love yous, you matter to me, you mean something to me. And so not forgetting those comments. It's like, and
Yes.
remembering those people who let you know, not that you show them extra favoritism, but for every one person that says something, 9 people also feel it. I don't know if that's a real stat, but I heard it one time and it sounds right.
Right, right.
So it's like,
Yes.
if one person will say something, but 9 other people will feel the same exact way.
Yes.
And again, so it's like, maybe you tell all your clients, hey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just to let you know, when you sign on for our weekly Tuesday 11 a.m. session, I love seeing your face and I love seeing what piece of equipment you're pointing your camera at, because I understand where your mind's at, and
Yes.
maybe I know that I know you worked with your kids yesterday because you got your reformer out and you want to do short spine. It's like just letting them know that you see them too. Like,
Yes.
oh, like
Yes.
they see me and I matter to them too.
That's so
It's like we
funny.
can cultivate so much beauty and happy in this world if we really allow ourselves to do it.
Absolutely.
And I wrote about that a little bit earlier in the summer for PMA blog.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about just some of finding the light in 2020. There are these moments where there's been these
Yes.
beautiful lights. One of it, like Maria Earl, is in here. Like I've been following Maria Earl on Pilates Anytime and on social media, like from afar, for years.
Hmm.
Just, oh my goodness, this woman is so beautiful. She's so talented. She's so inspiring. She's so smart.
Yes.
Oh, she went to my school. She's another woman of color. Like, just like I thought I was the only one. Like, this is so
Mm-hmm.
magical. But
Yes.
having access to social media this year, I actually we did a video chat with each other, similar to how you and I did this morning, just randomly one day. We just video chatted. It's just like I'm talking to like somebody who's been inspiring me for years. Like I'm having a
Yes.
conversation.
Hmm.
And how cool is this? Like
So
she sees
cool.
me.
Yes.
Wow, like she knows I'm alive.
It's so, but everything you say, because I mean, that was like John Claude Nelson was that for me too, right? Like, when I was teaching, was at Lifetime, with just learning about all these different things and Pilates. Is like someone comes in, they're like, look, here's a man doing Pilates. We're like, what?
Yes.
You know,
And then it's amazing to see a person who's passionate about what you're passionate about. That's already cool,
that's
right?
cool right
But
there.
then when the person is the same sex as you, that's even cooler because
Two
you know
points.
how my body feels on this equipment, which may be
Yes.
a little different than how that person's body feels on
Yes.
the equipment.
Right.
But then you have the nerve to kind of look like me too. What?
Yes.
Representation matters. Like it's
Representation
amazing
matters.
when you see, and it's like I look at my kids, my 6-year-olds, and it's like they I'm glad that they will never know what my personal experience was like growing up as a dancer.
Hmm.
Representation really outside of this American, Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, which I was
Yes.
blessed to be able to train there at a certain point in my life. But it's like there are these people up here, they're almost like
Yes.
unattainable gods. As far as
Yes.
what you see on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
there was nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing. And I go into a dance supply store and everything is tan. And I have
Hmm.
to buy RIT dye in dark brown. I have to buy dark brown spray paint and I have to create my own normal because world is
Yes.
not normal. And then those tights that I'm buying are called suntan or nude or flesh. And
Hmm.
so I'm getting these subconscious reminders that my
Messages.
skin is not normal. And
Right.
so this reinforcement of other, basic stuff. Just a kid wanting to go to dance class.
Sad.
Other. And so having something as simple as having other Black female Pilates instructors, like who happen to also have classical training, who happen to also have gone to my school. I'm just like, that is so cool. Like, can I
Hmm.
talk to you for a few minutes? Like, can you tell me about your experience?
Yes.
And also these people that can seem so unattainable, not because of their pride, but just because of logistics. You live
Yeah.
in a different city, you live in a
Right.
different state, we use different whatever.
Right.
Who've formerly been unattainable
Hmm.
are now people who you can pick up your phone and talk to and develop relationships with.
Yes.
And that part of like the risk that I, for lack of a better word, that I
Hmm.
took this year in part of my year's personal goal
Hmm.
was to love myself more and to focus on just the word love. Like, what does that mean?
Yes.
What is love? And so, 'cause I am divorced. I'm in an amazing, lovely relationship now, and this is my second serious relationship as an adult. And so, being able to like remind myself that like you're not a failure and
You're
you
not
are
a
loved.
failure.
That's been my
Yes.
focus
Hmm.
this year. And so it's like, okay, well, if I love myself, I wouldn't think that I'm not worthy of certain things.
Right.
What
That's
does
the
that mean?
challenge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what does that mean? And so exploring that idea of worthiness, it's like, well, there's a subconscious, sometimes very conscious telling of not worthiness due to sex, due to skin tone, like
Right.
so
Yep.
it's like
That
it
inner
wasn't just because we
conflict.
invented it
Yeah.
one day.
Yes.
It was there
Hmm.
in the dance tights, in the dance shoes,
Yes.
in the nude. You're not that. It's like it.
Hmm.
No wonder it was a little bit of a struggle
Right.
to walk away from things that were painful
Hmm.
and or to really love myself like on that deep meaningful level. And
Yes.
so in doing that, it's like, well, I'm worthy of important people knowing I exist too. Like that's okay.
Hmm.
It's not because I'm so perfect, but it's because my life matters and their life matters, and we're just two people living, right? So let me just
Yes.
say hi.
Yes.
So I just
Yeah.
started saying hi to people this year. Just hello, how are you? Liked your post.
Hmm.
Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for even though you're in a place of societal privilege for putting your business
Hmm.
out there
Yeah.
this year
Hmm.
to be a part of the change. I just would start writing messages to people, writing messages of just, and I've developed these friendships and relationships with these people with massive followings, not because I was clout chasing. But I'm just like, let me just like tell you that you, what I see what you're doing in
That's
that.
exactly it.
Thank you for doing it.
Yes.
And that's been one of the biggest changes from this year. It's been my self-confidence has grown, but my business has, in a pandemic, beautifully grown
Hmm.
because I'm loving myself more, and that comes across in the way that I teach.
Really?
I hear
Yes.
from clients, that it comes across. And one of the main pieces of feedback that I've been getting, which is like, thank you, is that I'm the same person on my Instagram as I am in real life. And
Yes.
that's what I want. I don't want social media to be a
Hmm.
false extension of myself. I want it to
Yes.
be, this is who I am in all of my glorious imperfection, but I'm still worthy to exist on this platform because I'm good enough. I'm good enough to be
Absolutely.
here.
Yes. Exactly. And that's we were talking about that before, just a congruency, right? Like what we put out there and what we're selective of putting out there and it being authentic to who we are.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah. Can you talk
I'm
about that
really,
with like your two
yeah.
separate pages and
Yeah, so we were chatting a few minutes before this call started, and I have still separate pages, but it's kind of becoming obsolete. In the beginning, part of the separate pages was, this is my business page, and then this is my personal page. But what it ended up and that's not a bad thing, and I think a lot of people can do that,
yes.
which is awesome. But because of a little bit of the background that I've even just shared on this call, because some of the things that I've been through in my life, having these two separate pages, it was like, here's pretty professional Everlea, here's the queer girl with kids. And I didn't like that.
Hmm.
I
Right.
I I want to be one whole person all
Yes.
the time.
All the
And
time.
so
Yes.
that doesn't mean that I am going to plaster my business page with photos of my children, because I do want to protect my kids. There's still that, like, I'm not going to just put them out there like that, but I am very much a mom.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes when I'm teaching the 100, somebody's asking for Cheerios. That happens, and that's okay. It doesn't make me lesser of a mom,
Less
because,
professional.
or less professional.
Yeah.
That just makes me human. I'm
Right.
just a person. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just a person. And I think that by putting things out there, well, we see it in politics, we see it all over the place. When somebody else gets to out you,
Hmm.
it's a problem.
Hmm.
So I'm like, what I'm going to do this year is out myself. I am a mom. I've got two beautiful boys.
Hmm.
I have an amazing partner who loves me. I have a lovely home studio that I am proud of. And I own everything in this room. Don't own a lot, but I own this. I'm
Yes.
proud of that. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And so I'm just going to share that. And
Yes.
then if you care, you'll follow and you'll listen, and
Hmm.
maybe you'll even take some classes. If it's not your thing, you won't. And that's also okay. I just want to be who I am all the time, because I'm done personally asking permission to exist. That was a very big part of my life for a very long time.
Yes.
I'm no longer interested. And
No.
so
That's
that's
so
more
exhausting.
than it is, because the bills are going to be due regardless.
Right.
Kids have to be fed regardless. Like,
Right.
life is going to happen regardless, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so if life is going to happen, and there's going to be struggles and triumphs regardless of whether or not you are in a situation where you feel loved and supported or
Or
not.
not.
You might as well be in a situation where you feel loved and supported, because the bills are still going to be due.
Right.
Taxes are still going to come around and be due on a certain day. Like, life's still going to happen.
Hmm.
So be authentic in it.
Yes.
Because at least you can smile while you're paying your taxes, as opposed to,
Right.
like, it
Yeah. Yeah.
seems so simple. But and it took me 35 years to,
Right.
to get
Yeah.
here. And it feels simple now, but I'm speaking from a place of hindsight. It took me some time.
Hmm.
just to be like, hey, like, it's okay for you to have that nice name. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for you to call brown flesh and skin tone.
Hmm.
It's okay. And then in one of my bolder moments when I was in my teens going through all of that dance and all the performances where it's like I'm in I have both parents, but I'm living with a single parent home. So I'm in one income bracket, but I've got to pay twice as much because I have to dye my tights and dye my
Yes.
shoes.
Right.
So it's costing me more to exist
Hmm.
in my blackness.
In
Like
your
it's
blackness.
costing me
Right.
more to
Yes.
just be who I am on this planet. Why is it costing me more when I, in this moment, in this time, have less resources than some other people? And so in that bold moment, I just asked my teacher, I was like, hey, so can everyone just switch to brown? Like if the point is being uniform.
Yes.
If I've been asked to wear tan, all the time,
My whole
or
life.
on
Right.
my legs, on my feet. If I've been asked to assimilate this way, like instead, like can everyone look like me? And then she made this. She was like, but that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, I know.
Thank you.
Like, and it's like,
Gotcha.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and so asking a group of people to change and look like somebody else for acceptance is not a good thing.
Mm.
Like, and you can see it when it's here and I'm asking you to change, but you have no problem asking me to change.
Mm.
And so having that conversation as a kid ended up changing a lot,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, whatever color was available to me is the one that I got to wear. If I wanted to wear my brown ones, and then they started making brown tights, and I didn't have to dye them anymore. And it's like,
Yes.
but that was toward the end of
Hmm.
my, dance experience as a child, toward adulthood. And so it's like, but that's still there when I
Right.
turn on, you know,
Hmm.
Pilates anytime. When I turn on certain,
Yes.
and it's gotten so much more diverse. It's not an insult, but 3 years ago,
Hmm.
5 years ago, when
Right.
I would turn on these platforms,
Hmm.
it's like you get these reminders that you're not really part of the norm. You're not
Right.
really
Right.
regular.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like I just want to be a teacher
Hmm.
sometimes,
Right.
like and maybe Martin, like, is that heaven? Have you ever just wanted to be a Pilates teacher and not the black male Pilates teacher? Because they're both true at the
But
same
the
time.
truth, yeah, man, I talk about that all the time. Like my business, is this a black owned Pilates studio or is this a Pilates studio? Right? Like I mean,
And
like we get
yeah.
into this place where we have to define ourselves and differentiate ourselves because we are not part of the overall norm.
Mm-hmm. And
But
it's like, as much as sometimes you do want to be celebrated for
celebrated.
being,
Yep.
you know, a female-owned business, a
Hmm.
queer-owned business,
Right.
LGBTQ safe business, a black-owned business, like
For sure.
that's great.
From a
And
celebratory perspective, yes.
from a celebratory perspective, but not but and because they're both, it's true on both sides. And sometimes you just want to exist in your excellence and be like, I'm
Yes.
good too.
Right.
This is just a good Pilates studio. Just
Yeah.
come because it's a good Pilates studio.
Right.
Don't come only because I'm here, or don't not come
Hmm.
because I'm this. It's like, you don't see white owned business, well, you shouldn't, at least, right? But it's like,
Right.
but you
Right.
don't you don't really, but because it's
They don't.
part of the norm.
It's part of the
But
norm. Right. Yeah.
on the other side, it's like every time you see black owned or female owned or whatever, it's like all the businesses, for the most part, especially now with Yelp doing the
Hmm.
marketing things that they're doing, where you can like say certain things and pitch yourself certain ways. It's like, man, this is challenging. Like, I just wanna be celebrated for being good at bodies. I want to
Yes.
be
Hmm.
celebrated for, I went through a lot of education with a lot of great teachers. I learned a lot of
Yes.
great things, and I would like to share those
Yes.
people.
I would
And
say, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
no, no, yeah, but it's hard not being able to have that kind of access. Um, it's easily just
Hmm.
allowed,
Yeah.
able. That's
Right.
not the same.
Yeah, no, and it's coming, right? Like, I mean, circling back to just celebrating where it really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. I mean, I feel like this is one of the first years where I'm coming into rooms, or I'm asking for a price, or giving a quote, and someone is just saying yes because I'm competent, and it's not affirmative action in any way, shape, or form. It's just I am competent, I am worthy, I am excellent, I am good enough, I'm more than enough for this situation, right? So we get to that place now. I'm seeing more opportunities of that happening for many of us, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, it definitely it's we're moving, I think, in a really positive direction overall. That doesn't
Overall.
mean that there's not still a lot of tweaking and changing and big overhauls too that need
Hmm.
to be had.
Yeah.
And when you can just Google Pilates instructor and you see pictures of men and women who are black, white, brown, and everything in between, that's when you know that our specific
Yes.
business entity
Yes.
is becoming more diverse. When you
Yes.
can just Google Pilates instructor, or
Yes.
just and the photos that pop up look like a rainbow coalition,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
opposed to having to put in the word black first, or having to put in the word male first, or
Right.
female first. Like when you can just Google what you do
Yes.
and you see a spectrum, that's the goal.
That's a goal.
You can say, I got into X, Y, and Z school,
Hmm.
and someone doesn't assume that it was because of a quota that needed to
Yes.
happen. It's like, no, I'm allowed to be smart too,
Hmm.
like
Thank you. Yep.
and so yeah, it's just this year has been in a lot of ways reminders to minorities and marginalized persons, like,
Hmm.
yep, we already knew that in a lot of
Yes.
ways, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the same time, it's also been a way for people who were existing in their privilege, and I don't mean that's an insult. I just mean existing in their
Hmm.
privilege.
Hmm.
They were able to say, "Wait, I'm existing in privilege," and to actually
Yes.
pause for a moment. And I've seen
Yes.
so many businesses and individuals
Hmm.
put themselves out there for humanity this year, which has been
Yes.
like
That's
amazing. Like,
amazing. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Because, whenever you speak out, and that was, in meeting Tracy of Pilate earlier this year, she's one of the people that I wrote an email to, just wrote a message to saying, hey, uh, thank you for your video that I saw. It was, I guess, a number of her followers had written her because she was making a lot of very outspoken posts about supporting Black Lives Matter and supporting, uh, you know, reform in different areas. And people
Yes.
were messaging her just saying, like, why are you doing that? Why are you talking about this? Stick to Pilates, essentially. Like she was getting some of the sticks to Pilates.
Yes.
And I saw a video and she was just saying, listen, Black Lives Matter. And if you don't think that they do, then you don't. So bye. Like unfollow me.
Right.
Goodbye. Don't
Yeah,
be here.
that's very
So,
Tracy-esque.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
the short of her video. And I just like, I was just like, oh, because she didn't post that on her personal page only.
Hmm.
That was on her Pilates page. That was on her 40,000 followers page. And
Right.
it's like you're putting yourself out there
Hmm.
because you're a decent human. And I need
Right.
to let you know to see you,
Thank
and
you.
now
Yes.
we have we have a new friendship
Hmm.
and a business relationship that we didn't have before.
Right.
And so it's like being loving myself more and telling people that they make a difference in my life
Yes.
has made a difference in my life even
Yes.
more.
Right. Right.
And so I think that that's my just main takeaway. And if I'm in a place to give input or advice, it would just be like really try loving yourself
Yes.
today, right?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned earlier, it's not just like in the future,
Hmm.
it's today,
Right.
because of tomorrow and then the day after. It's like love, like, hey, you're worthy of that conversation. You're worthy
Yes.
of sending that message. You're worthy of asking that question.
Hmm.
You're worthy of putting yourself out there, because if you do, you might get something really positive back. And if
Right.
you don't get something positive back, you at least tried.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and it's at least a confirmed no, as opposed to a possible
Possible.
yes.
Right. Exactly.
And you don't even know it.
There's a gentleman that I teach Pilates to. He's in his 70s. He's gone back to judo at 70. He's in a great spot, like really, really cool gentleman that I train. And there's one time that I was teaching him an exercise and he's gotten a lot better at it. And we're, going through it. I hear him talking to himself as he's going through the exercise. And he said this, I had to write it down as kind of one of my own things. He said to himself, better, but not good.
Mm.
And I feel like he just said better, but not good. Better, but not good. And whether it's our own Pilates, with this journey of our own self-worth, whether it's talking about racism in the fitness industry, whatever, it's better, but not good.
Yes. I think that is, one of those short and sweets that we can take away, right? It's like, do I want to, when I'm fighting for change in these structures, in these entities that exist,
Yes.
recognizing the better when it happens and actually saying something about it, right? We
Yes.
actually need to say something
Mhm.
when the betters occur,
Yes.
because it's like if I make coffee for my partner every morning, right? If I get up and I make coffee every single day,
Mhm.
and then she doesn't say that she likes it, I'm gonna stop doing it.
We'll
Not because I
stop
don't
doing it.
care about it, because
Right.
like, oh, I don't know if she likes this. I'm just gonna like not do it anymore. And so
Yeah.
that's what we need to tell these companies when
Mhm.
they're doing things that we like,
Yes.
instead of only telling them when we don't like something.
Mm.
Like positive reinforcement
Mm.
works. It
Yes.
really
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so telling them, hey, I see this thing that you're doing. Hey,
Mhm.
that's making a difference.
Yes.
Hey, I love this thing. Shooting an email even to something is like something as big as Netflix. Like,
Yes.
love this movie that you put out. I love more representation. I
Mhm.
love that it's an LGBTQ Christmas film
Yes.
on Netflix. Thank you for normalizing my existence.
Yes.
Say something. Because
Yes.
when we see something, it's like, oh, people see that we're
Yes.
trying,
Yep.
and so I'm going to do more of this thing because I'm getting positive feedback.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I think that 2020 and 2016, 2017, 2018, like I think the last 5 years, honestly, we've gotten very outspoken,
Yes.
but not about things that we enjoy.
Right. Yep.
We've gotten very outspoken about things that we don't like. And it's
Mhm.
okay to talk about those things. We
Mhm.
do. We need to talk about those things
Yes.
without forgetting to mention that people are making a difference. Like, imagine if our clients just came in every day and told us the things that they did not like about our sessions.
Oh, I know. We shut her down by the end of the year. Like, yeah.
I mean, that isn't that like, it just hurts, right? Just the thought of it. Like,
Yes.
of every time you had a conversation with somebody,
Mhm.
it was something negative about you.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
even like the thought of that.
Mhm.
Don't
Mhm.
even like the thought of that. And
Yes.
so when I see that there is a Black presenter doing a webinar for the PMA, am
Mhm.
I sharing that post
Mhm.
and paying for that webinar and attending it in support of that person and in support of the initiatives? Or am I only complaining when things aren't going the way that I want them to go in the moment? It's like
Right.
we can celebrate standing
Mhm.
while still training toward running. They
Yes.
don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yes, exactly. And to answer, no, Kristen's here, but better is good. When she says that, let me put that in context where he was saying that to himself. I wasn't saying to him, "Oh, that's better, but you're not good," for one. But even if that was the case, she's saying, "But better is good." His context of better but not good is someone who is very driven, A-type personality, an athlete, high level, that elite mindset. It can handle someone saying that's not good enough just yet, and that will inspire you to chase after more without discourage you for the place that you're coming from. So
Yeah.
so when you understand the body that's in front of you in that way as well, that's why I could let a line like that go and not have to save him from himself when he says better, not good.
Mm-hmm. And we can have a whole chat about just that topic by itself, right? About
Yes.
like sensitivities and feelings. That's a whole other like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we're
and
at
very important
yes.
chat. But it's like, well, I've when I was, I'm only 35, but it's like when I was a kid, not, you may get a participation ribbon, but like not everybody gets a trophy. Like
Yes.
it goes to one, two, and three,
Right.
And I think that that has definitely changed a lot to now where we protect people for themselves. Like we allow clients to even abuse us sometimes. Like they don't show up, they don't do whatever, but we're afraid to say something. It's like, well, no, 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 no. Like
Mm,
it's okay to have boundaries and to be honest. It's
right.
okay to be honest with
Yes.
people. And without being disparaging, without being rude. We
Hmm.
can be honest. I
Yeah.
can ask that I need you to do one more rep for me because I'm not seeing this. And I really want to see this because it's telling me that this is happening in your body, which is going to help you. So it's
Yes.
not because I need you to prove something to me. I want you to stand taller when you leave. So I need you to do one more for me.
Yes.
Like, and reminding them that what you're asking them to do is for their benefit, but you can let them know that, hey, that not quite. You
Not
were
quite.
closer than, you were closer, and that's awesome. And that's not a classical or contemporary thing.
Mm,
That's not
that's
that. It
yeah.
is do you have a contraindication that is preventing you from doing a thing?
Mhm.
There is one, change expectations. If there isn't one, change expectations. Like,
Right. Yes.
so it works in both directions where we can encourage people to be their best selves, not our best selves, but
No.
their
Their best
best
self.
self. And if
Yes.
we don't see that they're being their best selves in that moment for where they are that day,
Right.
they're paying us because they trust us to tell them.
Hmm.
And I've found that in slowing down and asking for deeper work, especially on virtual, because it can get real routine.
Yes.
You know, classical training can get really routine
Hmm.
just because there's an order, right?
Yes.
For a lot
Yes.
of things, it can get really routine. But when you ask people to slow down, or when you ask them to speed up, or when you take a movement like double leg stretch on the mat and you
Yes.
have them hold their arms still and just do their legs 10 times and then
Yes.
just do their arms 10 times. And
Layered
now
in. Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's how we're keeping it interesting, but we're also asking more because I'm asking you for better endurance because you're
Yes.
essentially doing exercise for 3 whole sets,
Yes.
but by breaking it down. So we're able to ask people to do more and do better with love and encouragement. I
Yes.
think that it's better to do that than to let people slack
Hmm.
and not really experience change while we're especially taking their money. You know what?
Yeah,
There's,
for sure. Yeah, exactly.
I would love to know that I'm making a real change in somebody's life as opposed to just making an income off of their dedication.
Right. Exactly. Everly, we have burned through over an hour. Like we
Oh
just
my gosh, totally.
that was so rich. And Michelle had a comment saying that I hope someone from the PMA is listening to this. And some really sage wisdom. Um, yeah, some comments on your shoe, the toe shoes. Being yourself is freeing yourself. Some beautiful comments from everyone here. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. We could go for another hour. We really didn't even
Yeah.
talk
It's
Pilates,
so
how you
chatting with
found
you. We should absolutely, whether or not it's on a live, we should just like chop it up sometimes. But
Absolutely,
thank you
yes.
for having me on. I really appreciate it.
This has been so good, and I'll send you the replay later. Thank you to everybody who has been following us along here. And Tracy just came in. Yes, at
Hi,
35,
Tracy.
you go. Wisdom beyond your years, Emily. Wisdom
Thank you
beyond
so
your
much.
years. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm gonna sign you off. Thank you again.
Bye.